Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News's post-match live stream. It's September 3rd, 2023, and the match between Osasuna and Barcelona just ended. Now, Barcelona won 1-2 with goals of Jules Koundé and Robert Lewandowski from the penalty spot, with the debut of Barcelona's two newest signings, which are Joao Felix and Joao Cancelo. We have a lot to discuss as far as the match's analysis, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as I mentioned in the intro, this is the post-match live stream analysis. So there's not going to be any news. We're just going to be discussing the match between Osasuna versus Barcelona in what was the fourth match of this 2023-2024 season. Now, having said that, I will be uploading a news video later on today. So if you do want to hear what's going on with Barcelona, stay tuned to the channel and check out that news video. I should probably upload it in 2 or 3 hours. Now, as always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. And if you are looking to place any sports bet, make sure you hit the bet us. Both links are down below in the description. Now, let's begin with today's match where Barcelona won 1-2 against Osasuna. This was an away match at El Sadar Stadium. We saw Jules Koundé score that first goal during the stoppage time of the first half, which was a header goal. And finally, the second goal from Barcelona was Robert Lewandowski from that penalty spot. Now, we have won. We've taken home 3 very important points. But I was not happy with what I saw. I do not think this was a good match by Barcelona, especially during the second half. Now, let's not get ahead of ourselves and let's start discussing the first half. I think the first half, there was a little bit more intensity than the second half. Barcelona had really good possession of the ball. They were moving the ball around a lot. They were trying to create chances. However, they are still very slow in their transitions. Now, which I saw a lot of what I was seeing last season, where the team moving the ball from the right to the left, back and forth. But what I didn't see is those fast transitions, those mechanisms that allow Barcelona kind of to, do those 1-2 passes really quick to make it to the box. I saw a couple of those during the first half. And I think when Barcelona executes these fast transitions, they're very dangerous. It's very difficult to stop, very difficult to manage for defenders. But the problem is that we don't see enough of them. And that's a big, big problem. That was a recurring problem during last season. And I saw it again today in today's match. And I don't know what's going on, if the players are still not adjusting well to each other. After all, we do have a lot of new incorporation with Romeo, with Gundogan, Felix and Cancelo coming in later. But we're not seeing those fast transitions, which, again, when Barcelona execute them, they do it really well. They cause a lot of danger. They're very hard to stop, but we're only seeing them maybe once, twice, 3 times in a match, which, of course, is not enough. Barcelona needs to be executing these fast transitions over and over and over again, because that's how you're going to create your chances, and that's how you're going to score a goal. It's not going to work every time, of course, but the important thing is to keep trying it, to keep creating the chances, to keep creating the danger, and to score those, right? Finish them. And that is the problem. Now, the second half, I thought it was an absolute disaster. The team completely reduced their intensity. They were losing the ball very foolishly, and this allowed Osasuna to advance their lines, creating more chances, and that's when Osasuna scored their goal. And they honestly had several close ones where they could have scored even more, and Barcelona could have definitely lost this match. So not good by Barcelona in the second half. They need to tighten that up. They cannot lose intensity during the second half. Yes, they were up 1-0 or 0-1, but 0-1 is not enough. As we know, in football, anything can happen. Unless you're up 4-5-0, you cannot be relaxing like that. And even if you are up 4-5-0, you shouldn't be relaxing at all because teams can always catch up to you. So Barcelona need to really work on these two things. First of all, those fast transition, those fast passes to make it to the box. They can't just keep moving the ball from right to left. And also they need to work on maintaining their intensity because, again, during the second half, the intensity was not there. That's my overall sensation of the match. I'll talk about a little bit more about the lineup, about the players themselves, and then we'll talk about the debut of Joao Cancelo and Joao Felix. But for now, let's see what you guys thought about the match. I saw there was a lot of people waiting for the stream to start, so thank you again. These streams will be after every match once it ends, unless the match is during the week. Obviously, that won't be able to because I'll be at work. So Champions League matches, most likely I won't be able to review. But most matches on the weekend, I will. But of course, I'll keep you updated in the community tab. Okay, Beta says, there is one thing supporting a club legend, but after this game, blandly supporting Xavi as a coach is a very bad and sign of blind follower. Completely disagree with you because here's the thing. If we want to judge Xavi, we have to judge him overall. Xavi has only had one full season with the team, which was last season, right? The 2022-2023 season. In that season, Xavi brought us A, La Liga, which we hadn't won in a very long time, and B, we won the Spanish Super Cup. Now, the objective for last season was to win La Liga, and Xavi accomplished it. Therefore, last season, which was Xavi's first season, was a successful one. Now, it's time to, obviously, every season, we turn a blank page and we judge a coach by that season. To judge him in regards to this season, we've only been 4 matches in. I don't know if you could judge anybody 4 matches in. So completely disagree with that assessment. Again, this is short-term mentality, tunnel vision, very short, not looking ahead of just thinking, oh, well, I didn't like what I saw in this match, sack the coach, bring another one. If I don't like one of his matches, we'll sack him, we'll bring another one. And we'll just keep recycling coaches, not getting anywhere, just, just as a way of throwing tantrums and just relieving my anger. All right, Arnold says, hello, Mo. I missed a lot of your live due to my trip in Africa. I'm actually on vacation in Democratic Republic of Congo. The time gap between USA and Congo is huge, but I'm glad to watch this. Awesome. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for catching this live stream, and be safe on your trip, and I hope you have a lot of fun. Okay, Blarana says, no excuse for missing a sitter and an open net. Lewandowski needs to stop worrying about what he can control and start finishing the chances he does get. Also, Roberto did absolutely nothing. We'll talk about the players a little bit more specifically after this. I do want to go over the formation, and I want to talk about the players individually, and then and then we'll talk about the debuts of Cancelo and Felix. All right, Venix says, I saw Cancelo cutting in as a CDM a lot. That's what wrong for Xavi to use him like that. Just use him as a natural attacking fullback. Wait, are you suggesting we shouldn't use Cancelo as an attacking fullback? Because that's what he does. Okay, all right. So let's get back and talk about the formation. We saw kind of I don't know if it was a 4-4-2 or a 4-3-3, because sometimes Gabi would go up as a winger, but it was more a 4-4-2 for most of the time, with Gabi playing as a midfielder. But we pretty much saw this formation with Mark ter Stegen in the goal, Sergio Roberto on the right back position, Jules Koundé and Christensen both in the center back position with Balde on the left. We saw Frankie and Oriol Romeo kind of in that double pivot position with Ilkay Gundogan as an interior, and then Gabi, who sometimes went up as a winger, but a lot of times most of the time he was really in the midfield. And then we saw, of course, Lewandowski and Lamine Yamal up in the front attacking. Now, as far as the lineup itself, I didn't see as much of an overabundance of midfielders in the midfield like previous games. Yes, we did have 4 midfielders, but the midfield did not feel as saturated as, let's say, the match against Cádiz, right? Or even Getafe. It felt a little bit more, there was a little bit more spaces between the midfielders, a little bit more spaces in between the line. So it didn't feel as saturated, but again, we're still suffering from that slow ball movement where we're just moving the ball from right to left without those fast transitions, which when they do happen, very effective, but they don't happen enough. Now, as far as individual players, Ter Stegen, absolute beast, saved us 2-3 times at least. If it wasn't for him, the score no doubt undoubtedly would have been much higher in favor of Osasuna. Excellent game by Mark, who's continuing to have a brilliant performances. We saw it all throughout last season. It looks like he's continuing that to this season. I think that surgery that he finally did have helped him a lot because, we all know that Ter Stegen had that surgery where he was needed that surgery where he was playing with pain. It didn't really allow him to hit the gym. Finally, he had it last summer, was able to recuperate, and we saw an incredible season last season. And it looks like he's continuing that into this season. Kunde, Christensen, both solid center backs. I think Kunde undoubtedly with Araujo will be our two best center backs combination. Not only is he very solid defensively, but I really like how he drives the ball forward. I think Jules Koundé is very underrated in that way, the way he drives that ball forward, the way he attacks. And of course, he did score Barcelona's goal. Christensen, again, very underrated defender, had a solid match, very quiet, but nonetheless good. Balde, what's there to say about Balde? He has an incredible match every time. He's an absolute rocket on the left flank. And of course, we did have Sergio Roberto on the right flank, which of course he didn't have a great match, but I wouldn't say he had a bad match either. He did his job for as long as he could, and then he was subbed out. Now, a lot of people were upset why Cancelo hadn't started. I mean, let's be realistic, guys. As my favorite line that I always like to say, this is not FIFA or Pro Evolution Soccer. This is real life. You cannot start a player that just arrived and only had one training. Cancelo has only trained once with the team, which was yesterday. You cannot expect someone like that to start. Midfield, Frankie and Uriol. Frankie, he's having one hell of a season. I got to say that. I mean, yes, we're only 4 matches in. But in solid performance by Frankie, driving the ball forward. I think having Uriol there is really helping Frankie unleash his potential, because before, I think with Busquets, he used to stay back a lot more because Busquets wasn't as fast as he used to be. So he needed to stay there to make sure that Busquets didn't get beaten. But with Uriol there, I think Frankie was feeling very confident, or is feeling very confident, which is allowing him to drive the ball forward a lot more, which is adding one extra element to Barcelona's attack. So really great, solid performance. Another solid performance by Oriol Romeo. Second half, he did some silly mistakes, but first half, I mean, he's just a bull. He can stop anything. And we all expected, or at least people who watch La Liga, expected that solid defensive performance by Oriol Romeo. But I think about what we didn't expect is how good he is offensively, because he had some pretty crucial passes in the first half, really beautiful diagonal passes, filtering those balls through Osasuna's defense. Really good performance by Oriol Romeo. Again, second half, made some silly mistakes. I think that's why Xavi ended up subbing them out. But overall, actually, was Oriol Romeo subbed out? He was, wasn't he? Or am I confusing my matches? But good match by Oriol Romeo. Even better match by Frankie de Jong. Ilkay Gundogan, not a good second half, but first half, we're starting to see flashes of that Gundogan in Manchester City. I think he's slowly starting to adapt to the team, starting some of those dribbles, some of dropping back to get the ball, then pushing forward again. We're starting to see Gundogan slowly get adjusted. Of course, that's expected. It's not only is a brand new team, it's a brand new league for him. So it's going to take several matches until he feels finally comfortable. But he is starting to look more and more comfortable with every match, which of course is a good sign, because Gundogan is going to help us a lot in the midfield. Lamine Yamal, another good match by him. A little bit more quiet this time, not as much participation in previous matches. But again, what can you expect out of a 16-year-old kid? Lewandowski scored that penalty goal kick. He had a couple of maybe one shot where he missed. Still, the ball cannot find him. We have to work on that. I think if we start working on those fast transition and combinations, the ball will start finding Lewandowski a lot more, and then we can see more participation out of him. And of course, Gabi doing what Gabi does, which is play every match like it's the final of the Champions League. Now, that was kind of the lineup. I'll talk more about the debuts and the substitutions, but let's get back to the comment section and see what you guys are saying. Let's see, where did we leave off? Carlos says, we sit in the ball even when we are tied. Seems like it. So the reason why sometimes it does that is because one thing that Xavi's tactic is, which is a lot of people fail to take into consideration, because people think Xavi's trying to do what Guardiola does with the tiki-taka. He's not. Xavi plays a different kind of system, which is to attack the spaces with the ball. So what Xavi likes to do is move the ball from side to side, waiting for the opportunity, and then when he sees an opening, that's when they do the pass, right? The only problem is we're not doing that fast pass to the space as much as we need to. So that's where the ball is being moved slowly. The side to side, sitting on the ball, that's part of Xavi's tactic. We saw it all throughout last season. We got to see it throughout this season. What we need to work on is those fast transitions and those fast passes to that space, to use it a lot more often, because we're not doing that. Okay, let's see. Curtis says, this formation is not working. Xavi has to do something about this. This formation, I don't think it's the problem, it's the formation. Again, we need to just be more fast with our transitions, more fast with our passes to the space, to the empty space, because that's what's killing us. The formation is fine. It worked for us all last season. And then against Osasuna, you need a formation like this, because Osasuna is a lot more aggressive as far as attack. This is not like Getafe or Cadiz that like to park the bus. Those teams, yes, absolutely, we should have done a 4-3-3 from the get-go. Osasuna, they're a lot more fast with their counterattacks, and we saw it. They caught us a lot of times, and that was with a 4-4-2. And we used a 4-3-3, they probably would have caught us a lot more times. Okay, let's see. What else? Tohirul, I hope I said that correctly, says Gavi and Balde combination was below average today. They didn't create enough width in the front line for Lewy to work with. Sergio Roberto did not contribute with neither Lamine nor Kunde. Good points on both sides. Let's see. Vinik says the 3-5-2 formation Xavi's using is not working. I don't think he's doing a 3-5-2. Let's see. Laurana Kule says, Mo, have you given any thoughts to doing live watch-alongs during matches? That would be sweet. Thought about it. My only problem is I don't know if people are going to want to watch me watching match for 90 minutes. But if you guys, if you want that, maybe I can do a poll on the comment section, or not the comment section, sorry, the community tab. If that's something you guys want, maybe we could do it. I just wasn't sure if people really want to watch a live stream that's 90 minutes. I mean, I have people complain about Mondays and Wednesdays live streams, and those are 30 minutes long. And they keep commenting, your videos are too long. And then I have to explain, well, it's not a video. It's a live stream. It's a way for me to talk to people, because I can't do that through videos. I explain that every live stream, and yet every freaking live stream, I get the same exact comment. Your videos are too long. So if people complain about 30-minute live streams, I don't know how it's going to work with 90 minutes. But again, I'll do a poll, see what you guys think. If you want that, then why not? Okay, so let's see, because let's talk about the substitutions. We saw Xavi exhaust all his 5 substitutions. Sergio Roberto came off for João Cancelo, who we saw his debut. He came on the 60th minute and played 30 minutes. Of course, not much there to see. He only played 30 minutes. This is his first match. I wasn't expecting to see anything, but I did see some flashes of what to expect ahead, especially in that goal. Well, it wasn't goal because it eventually was an offsides, but it was that pass from Cancelo to Lewandowski, who Lewandowski scores it, but Cancelo was the offsides to begin with. I think that was one flash of what we should expect in the upcoming matches, because that pass was absolutely incredible all the way from outside the box. all across the penalty box, right to the foot of Lewandowski. I mean, the accuracy on that pass was absolutely insane. And of course, we should expect that from Joao Cancelo, and I think we're going to be seeing that a lot. And I think that's going to help a lot unlock Lewandowski's goal-scoring abilities, because right now there's nobody to do that for him, and Cancelo is going to be one of those guys. Okay, let's see what other substitution. We also saw Ferran Torres come in. Quiet match by Ferran. Didn't do much. But here's the thing. I said in the summer when the preseason began that I had no doubt that Lamine Yamal was going to bench Rafinha. And I think a lot of us expected that just from seeing what Lamine Yamal can do versus what Rafinha can. But what I was not expecting is for Ferran Torres to also bench Rafinha, because Xavi opted for Lamine Yamal as a starter, then Ferran as a substitute, and then finally Rafinha in the 88th minute. So it looks like Rafinha has dropped all the way to third in the pecking order. Now, I've always made it clear I don't think Rafinha is Barca material, but I think drop it to the third in order. I think that's hopefully what that's going to do is put pressure on the player to kind of improve, to light a fire under him, and maybe, who knows, maybe we'll start seeing an improvement on Rafinha, because I definitely did not expect Ferran to be ahead of Rafinha. Other substitute, we also saw Joao Felix come in, debut, came in around, I think it was the 70th minute. Not much there, but again, I wasn't expecting anything. It was his first match with Barcelona. He's only trained once, but I think Felix is going to be really, really important also in unlocking Lewandowski's scoring abilities. We saw that, I think it was he had that one pass. He was running forward, recovered the ball in the midfield, and he filtered that pass. I can't remember to whom. I think it was to Ferran or someone. And then, that's just like Cancelo, another flash of what we should expect of Felix, just dropping in between lines, grabbing the ball, driving it forward, and then making those really dangerous passes, because that's what Felix, or Joao Felix, can do. Íñigo Martinez also debuted with Barcelona. Final, 10 minutes? Not much to say there. And then finally, Rafinha as well, who had one run. The pass was to Rafinha. It was Joao Felix, pass to Rafinha. Really dangerous pass, which, of course, Rafinha did what he always does best, which is waste that chance and crash into Osasuna's defender and lose the ball. So that was all the substitutions and the debuts. I said Cancelo and Felix, but I forgot. Íñigo Martinez also debuted. But of course, we can't really say much about any of those debuts because their first match, they didn't play any much. So that's that. All right, let's get back to the comment section and let's see what you guys are saying. Okay. Oh, the chat section just moved on me. Let's see. The fan says midfield was empty. Balls were going on sides. I don't understand this team anymore. What else? Barca Soldier says we lack awareness throughout the entire game. Gundo would try running into space and not a single soul. It is only when Cancelo came on, crosses into the box looked more effective. Okay, what else? Sylvan says, hey guys, I think you are not giving the team a fair opportunity. The team has a lot of new players who are trying to blend, and now each player's strength in close-knit plays. We need to be realistic. Thank you, Sylvan. Exactly, 100%. People like to pass judgments on a single match. Oh, this match was bad. That means the whole team sucks. That means the coach sucks. Fire the coach, fire the players, sell the stadium, close the club. Guys, this is a marathon, not a sprint. This is a new project that we just added even more players to. It's gonna take time for these players to get adapted to the team. We need patience. We cannot rush to judgment and want heads rolling after a single match. Okay, coach says, hey Mo, do you think we should sell Loa for 40 million and trust Ferran? Absolutely not. No, I would not do that. We saw Lewandowski. We are left without a center forward. Yes, we have Vitor Roque coming in January, but what do we do from here till January without a center forward? And even when Vitor Roque comes, we're talking about an 18-year-old making a huge jump. We're not talking about just a new team, a new league. He's going from Brazilian football to European football. It's going to take him some time to adapt. Probably not until next season that we're actually going to see Vitor Roque get situated. And then what do you do from here until next year, pretty much, without a center forward? All right. What else? Chuchu says, Balde's been worked up a lot. I agree, yes. I think we're playing Balde a lot. 90 minutes of every match. He looked tired towards the end. I think we need to start substituting Balde and bringing in Marcos Alonso during those final maybe 20 minutes and maybe have Alonso play against, weaker teams. We saw him play against Villarreal, of course, but that was more of a precaution because Balde had twisted his ankle. But yes, we need to start substituting Balde so the same doesn't happen to him of what happened to Pedri, where he was, what was it, last season or the season before, completely overused and ended up burning out and being injured for a month or two. Okay, Luke says, I'm happy that we won the game, but it took a penalty to help us gain 3 points, and we shouldn't be struggling against teams like this. Agreed. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. The season's long. The team needs to improve because you are right. We should not be asking for the clock to run out, wasting time, waiting for the ball to go out of bounds because we're afraid to get scored on. So 100% true. Sundar says Xavi should start with Felix, Ferran, and Cancelo for next match. He also needs to try 4-2-3-1 formation. I don't know if Felix will and Cancelo, maybe Cancelo, but I don't know if Felix will be ready to start next match. We'll see. We do have that FIFA break in the middle, but it might be maybe a little bit too early. I would like to see Felix maybe come in 60th minute next match, but we'll see. All right. Linus says, Gundogan and Gavi have no chemistry. Of course not. Gundogan just joined the team. Chemistry does not develop overnight. Peter says, Barca were play very bad. Sell Sergio Roberto. The market has closed, my friend. You can't sell anyone. House arrested. I really hope that's just your name and that not you're not actually arrested or in home arrest. He says, I guarantee when Cancelo and Rafinha gain chemistry, Lewandowski will benefit greatly. Cancelo will generate space for Rafinha and Gundu Pedri. I don't think we're going to see Rafinha start again. I think we're not going to see Rafinha start unless Lamine gets injured or needs rest. But I think Rafinha has definitely lost his spot. I mean, we also forget that Rafinha was never the intended starter. Rafinha was signed because Barcelona thought they were losing Dembele. Because Dembele, of course, the contract had expired. So Barcelona signed Rafinha thinking that he would be Dembele's substitute. But then Dembele decided to renew his contract or technically sign a new contract. So Rafinha was supposed to be Dembele's substitute. Then Dembele, of course, did what he always does, which is get injured. And that's when Rafinha became the starter. But Rafinha was never the intended starter. He was always Dembele's substitute. And now that Dembele is gone, it looks like he has become Lamine Yamal and even Ferran Torres' substitute. So I don't think we're going to see Rafinha start that much unless, Xavi's rotating or Lamine Yamal is injured or etc. Let's see. Carlos says, I saw a lot of opportunities of players making good runs on the Final Four, but seems like the players on the ball can't see them that fast. Yes, I saw that too. One of them, I think it was Frankie, made a run, and Gundogan didn't see him one time. And that's what I mean when I said at the beginning of this live stream that Barcelona need to work on those fast transitions, those fast passes, those fast passes to the space. They need to work on that. But of course, that's going to take some time. Again, we just added more new players, 5 new players. That's a lot to add to a team. So it's going to take that time because those fast passes, when a player makes run, that's all based on chemistry, right? It's developing that chemistry with your teammate where immediately, as soon as you see him moving, you know that he's going to run, you know where he's going to run. So right away you make that pass and you get to him, but that happens with time. That doesn't happen overnight. Okay, let's see. Meg says Romeo was very good defensively, but he's not close to Busquets on those crosses. Of course not, and no one's going to be. Busquets is undoubtedly the best number 5 in the history of Barcelona, probably one of the best in the history of the sport. I don't think anyone gets close to him as far as his finesse and his class of making those passes. But defensively speaking, obviously Romeo is an absolute beast. Okay, Jesus says, Mo, also wanted to know if you watch any Barca channels, either English or Spanish. Your channel is fire, but also you have any suggestions. Thank you, Jesus. I really don't. Not because I don't want to. It's just a time issue. You know, I work full time. This is just a side thing that I do. So between my work, YouTube, everything, I don't have time to watch. But I do follow, obviously, a lot of reporters out of Spain, like Gerard Romero, like Xavi Miguel, and you know that helps a lot. Let's see. What else? MNF 94 says, no, this one was obvious. While Ferran has progressed with scoring 4 games straight, Rafinha has a lot of work to do. Yes, he does. So let's do 2 more comments and then we'll end it because we pretty much touched on everything. And then don't forget, news video later today. This does not replace the news video. All right. McBarca says, you are right. We need more quick attacking tactics. Yes, we do. We really do. We're lacking that. We've improved the possession from last season to this season. We've improved the possession a lot. Barcelona are much better now at keeping the ball. But now it's time to improve what to do with the ball once you already have it, which is those quick transitions. And again, this is a project, guys. It's an ongoing project. So we have to be patient. You know, things are going to improve slowly. Possession improved, check. Now on to the next, which is making those quick transitions and quick passes. Camaflan says, we've managed to replace Busquets, not with one single player, but with 2 or 3 midfielders that combined make up for his quality. Good point. All right. And Klaus, there you go. Since who was it that asked for a recommendation? I think it was Jesus. So Klaus says, Barca Boy 103, Blaurana Planet, who's from Barcelona. And he says, I watch all 3, including Mo. Thank you, Klaus, for watching me, and thank you for your suggestions. Maybe I'll check them out. I'm always interested to see what's going on. And Fitzroy, my boy Fitzroy, I haven't seen you in a while, man. He says, I'm just glad Joao started on a winning note. Yeah, good point. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. 3 important points that we take home. Not the greatest performance. The season's long. Hopefully, Barcelona keep improving. And I will see you guys in today's news video. So, as always, cannot end this without saying, Visca Barça.